Gente, pues hoy estamos con una artista que no es la primera vez, it's not the first time we get to speak with her y nos encanta porque cada vez que platicamos con ella aprendemos bastante and we also feel empowered of who we are and continue fighting that fight. Hoy estamos con Cecilia Villar, el Juri, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, todo bien aquí. Estoy en el medio de mi gira, como al final de mi gira para el nuevo disco, and now I'm in New York for a couple of days.
Wow, so let's go ahead and start with um your new record. Uh Eres un artista que siempre tienes mucho que decir y eres muy elocuente en tus canciones, en tus letras, en tu sentimiento. Se agradece que tu música, tu arte sea una plataforma para seguir no solo hablando de las situaciones o de las cosas que suceden con nuestra comunidad, pero ser un artista que hace advocacy for the community. And, you continue fighting the fight. And tell us about your latest album.
It's it could not be more important than now to speak out on what's going on, and especially in the United States as como una inmigrante latina, una mujer. Pero so I was very motivated when I wrote those songs for this record, and now I'm very, very excited to share the new music, both musically, sonically, as well as the themes of the songs, which are very, very timely, and that's why it's called Así es el Mundo.
Pero así no debería de ser el mundo.
Eso, tienes razón, but it is. And we have to be transparent and speak up about it.
And But when we talk about how we feel, music is healing, music is therapy. Como para los que escuchamos, como somos los music junkies, como para los artistas que crean la música. Y bueno,
Beautiful.
para ti, ¿cómo es que la música te ha, ayudado a digerir todas esas sensaciones que a veces uno dice, bueno, este mundo se está convirtiendo en un caos total que, bueno, al menos tengo mi arte, tengo mi guitarra para sacar esos acordes y digerir estas situaciones. Cuéntanos un poquito sobre eso.
Para mí la música es oxígeno. Es, como dices, para mí escribir canciones es muy importante como una forma de expresión, pero también como representante de la gente con quien yo estoy conectando con. You know, a lot of the themes of this song are global, not just what's going on in the United States, not just what's going on in my community in New York, for example. It's mucho más, the world is much bigger than that, but it somehow comes out through the song. A song is a way to express all that, what's going on, and also hopefully to lift people up. You know, why can't you dance and sing at the same time that you're singing about something very intense?
Right. It's kind of like doing mindfulness in a more active way, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I love that you said that music is healing, because to me, the point of writing a song and recording, and and making great, like, complex arrangements or whatever I'm after sonically, is to hopefully touch people and make them feel emotion. And healing is such a great word. Great
And,
word.
um, well, now that you recently went to Canada, to
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, andabas por allá, cuál es el sentimiento de la gente canadiense sobre así es el mundo? ¿Cómo
That's
está el mundo?
fascinating. It was fascinating. We toured in the Midwest, which is also very different than the East Coast or the West Coast,
Of course.
and then went up and routed the tour routed up to Canada, to several places in Canada. We played in Guelph, we played in Wolf Island, we played in Toronto, and right now a lot of the people in Canada do not like people from the United States. They don't know what to make of an immigrant. I made it very clear that I'm an immigrant. I'm talking about fighting for your rights. I'm talking about, calling people out and using your voice. And I'm a Latina. I'm an immigrant, and that's not the picture that they're painting is not true. So I think all of that really mattered, and I had great connections with people in Canada. They really do care about us, the certain us, not the people who are challenging, who are, authoritarian, tyrannical leaders, not them. They don't agree. But people like us, like you and me, and people that listen to your show, they do care. I think it's important to offset lies, and music is a great way to channel that.
And I think it's important to also like always to go back to the basics. Oftentimes we as immigrants, as Latinos, as people that we came here, but we're part of the same continent. We didn't have to jump the Atlantic. We didn't
And,
have to jump on the Mayflower.
and in some cases, we're here first.
Right. We're indigenous
We're
people.
here first in many cases. If you're looking at, I'm from a family that immigrant several times, generations, from like Spain, Lebanon, Ecuador, and U.S. But if you take a lot of, why is it called? Why? Think about the names. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Colorado. These are who was here first. So let's remember this and point that out to people who have to learn about the history of the United States. And America is, I'm from America. I was born in America. I was born in South America. I was in Canada. That's America. Mis vecinos de Mexico. That's America. The United States is a piece, like you said, of the continent. And you know what? Why are we arguing about this? We should be getting along. We should be loving our neighbor.
Right. Um, there's a song that one of your songs, new songs, that when I heard it, uh, I was like, I'm wondering what was Cecilia's mood when she started uh, writing this song, and like what was going through her mind. So tell us, how did Karma came to be?
Well, what happened was I had these concerts for democracy last year, Eljuri concerts for democracy. We were touring in cities in the United States, and I was a partner with Headcount. I'm one of their partners, and Headcount is an organization that has registration materials for voting. So I was helping translate a lot of that material to Spanish. And at my concerts, I would have registration materials. We have Headcount people would be volunteers would be there. They'd set up the tables. They'd help people register to vote. So this is all going on last summer. I'm trying to encourage the Latino community and the Anglo community, everybody, to vote. And don't be afraid to don't be overwhelmed by the materials. All this is going on, but the energy was not good. I felt this almost dark cloud coming over my head of the new administration that was, fighting their way into to take over this country. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, this is just awful. So I started writing the new album. Karma was one of those songs. Then the elections happened, and then the rest of the songs came flying out. I was like, I have this to sing about, this thing about, and some of it is just emotive and self-empowerment, not all at all political. But Karma was especially important, that I was going to state what was going on. When people cross moral lines, when they separate families, that is not okay. And I had to sing about it. I had to call it out and say, el alma no se vende.
Mhm,
Porque si no, karma te alcanzará y vas a pagar.
mhm.
I was just stating the truth.
Sí, tan sencillo como esa oración. El alma no está
Así
en
salió.
venta.
And I was like, of course, I grew up listening to sambas, and so that's a fusion. Musically, it was a fusion of Latin rhythms and and Brazil Latin, meaning Afro-Cuban and Brazilian. And of course, and my luthier, guitar luthier, he built an electric tres for me because I wanted an electric tres, you know, the Cuban instrument, but I want an electric version. And that's where I'm going to play the solo on the electric tres. That blend of all those cultures and different was like also part of the message. You know what I mean? And I wanted it to be joyful, rhythmically, musically, almost sarcastic.
I get that. I get that.
No se ven. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed recording that song.
And another thing that I wanted to ask you is like recently you've been playing as a trio, but
Sí.
um ¿cómo es eso? Porque pues tu música tiene tantos ritmos, tiene tanta la composición musical está muy elaborada. Entonces, ¿cómo es que le has hecho para hacer tener un trío?
Yeah, well, for live, for power trio, we use loops and things, so we get the fuller sound. But the core is my drummer from Cali, Colombia, Alex Alexander, and Winston Roy, a New York. He's a New Yorker. They've both been with me for years, and me on guitar and vocals, and he sings too. So that core, and then we add loops. So it's for live, and it's a party.
I know, and I've seen also a concert of colors.
Oh
Uh,
yes,
yeah, PBS, and now that you know PBS, it's
that
like
was a
on the
beautiful concert
lookout,
and timely because of what's going on with PBS. Mm-hmm.
right? So go share something. Well, share all this information about this PBS concert of colors, and how did you connect with them, or how did it happen?
It's an important cultural festival called Concerts of Color in Detroit, Michigan. And um, the person who organizes that and my whole team, my whole Monoville Records team, Alexander Gatchi and all that whole team connected with the people from Concert of Colors years ago. And we were going to try to do Concerts for Democracy there last summer. And then it didn't pan out. There was too much. It just didn't work out. And so then that's why we performed this year. And it's a beautiful concert because it's really takes a lot of like, it's a festival. It's a 3-day festival in a lot of different venues in Detroit, Michigan. And we had the great honor of performing at the Detroit Institute of the Arts, this beautiful theater. And the audience was so with us. And many did not speak Spanish. In fact, there's a lot of Middle Eastern people. I'm half Lebanese. So there were a lot of very diverse audience, very supportive of the message. I talk about what the songs are about so people who don't speak Spanish could at least, you know. But karma translates to karma in English.
Definitely.
But other songs.
But it'll be so cool if you do it kind of like in Spanglish. I think that'll be awesome.
A lot of my songs, like I have my song, Así es el Mundo, has some English in it. En Busca de la Paz is bilingual. My song Bang Bang is bilingual. My song Money Hungry on the new record is all in English because I just came out that way, you know? So there's a lot of English on the record too, but
It's
mostly Spanish.
The beauty of being bilingual. But I think
Ding.
karma itself, I think it'll be amazing if you do the the translation. I think people will love it. It's an amplifier of your audience. So I think it'll be awesome. Or maybe it's just like me wanting to hear it in English and
I don't mind
play it all
people learning.
loud.
So it's okay for people to learn some Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that is true.
I
But
mean, again, we're neighboring countries, you know, in this country. So
yeah,
you go to Europe and people speak multiple languages with their neighboring countries. We're here in the United States, surrounded by Spanish speaking countries.
that is true,
And
to be
French in Canada. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and to be monolingual, it's their fault. It is not our fault.
And so let them learn a little Spanish. ¿Qué quiere decir el alma no se vende?
Ahí que lo hagan Google Translate
It's not hard.
o algo.
Exacto.
Y
Exacto.
bueno, ¿qué más es lo que viene para Cecilia Villar? ¿Qué es lo que viene en lo que son los conciertos, la gira?
Hicimos gira. We did Midwest, we did Canada, and the Northeast. We have a record release party in New York at Joe's Pub, September 3rd. So if you're in New York, come to the party.
Okay.
Invito a todos. And we're really excited I'm really excited about people hearing the tracks because it's brand new. So that's really important to me. I work with some great musicians, like I said, Cito Baptista and Steve Sandberger on the record. I worked with great producers, co-producers, Alexander Gacci, Paula Romano, T. Skull. They all were part of making it great. We recorded in incredible studios in New York at the Clubhouse. So like I was surrounded by a lot of great, beautiful people, and I'm anxious for people to hear the songs. And then we also have this toolkit. I have a group of people that we collaborate on activism, and we created an activism toolkit, Eljuri activism toolkit, and it's a free toolkit we put together that basically the idea is to give people tools to become their own activists. So like it's an awareness thing and also gives ideas for immediate actions you could take. So we focused on 5 key pillars, and it's free if you go to my website, eljurimusic.com. It's on social media too. And it's just a organized group of digestible ideas for people to tackle if they have an interest in pursuing something, taking actionable steps. Like women's rights is one, climate change, human rights, gun control, and civic engagement are the 5 pillars. So I hope people reach out and empower themselves. You know, that's hopefully a way to help.
Um, I would suggest to add also mass deportations.
Well, that would be under human rights and social
Human
justice.
rights. Okay.
No,
Okay.
human rights and social justice is absolutely, and women's rights right now for me are the ones that are the top pillars of those 5. It shifts because then there's a mass shooting, and then there's then it's time to vote, which is civic engagement. So these were ones we picked. We're asking anybody who's interested, just pick whatever you're interested in, go in there and dig in, and you'll have some ideas on how to take some action.
Okay. Hay también resources o
Mm-hmm.
información. Okay.
Information and actionable steps, and we partnered with organizations that have deep pockets in each of these pillars. We
Oh,
didn't reinvent
wow.
the wheel, like we worked with Headcount and
Right.
Supermajority, these great organizations, partnered with them. Yeah.
Yeah. A veces es nada más el poder conectar a la gente, like connecting the dots, building community,
Exacto.
you know.
Exacto.
I totally get you. As a matter of fact, I've I've gone to quite a few workshops for immigration and all
Great.
that stuff. But so I'm gonna go check it out, and maybe
Cool.
I'll add to it because I think it's important for us to have some sort of an archive with resources for people, and the more we know, the better we'll get to put up a fight.
That's
So
exactly right. And education, it gives you power, and resources and connectivity is important, and all of that community and sticking together. Los Latinos unidos somos poderosos. We are.
exacto,
We
sí.
are.
Bueno, también lo que pasa es de que siempre nos dicen, ¿no? We're the sleeping giant. We've
Uh,
been sleeping for so long, though.
we
Uh,
can't sleep right now. No,
no, it is
we have
time
to
to
fight
wake
back.
up.
We have to resist.
Mhm.
No podemos. It's
Yeah,
there attacking us straight on.
sí. Sí, no, sí, especialmente aquí en California. Entonces,
Y Nueva York
no sé.
también.
No sé si tienes pensado venir acá a California,
We really want to bring the record to California and Mexico probably next year, because we didn't hit that side yet, and so we have you pick your tour dates. So this year we
or
did this side. So next year would be California and Mexico, because I always go to Mexico too, and next year is an election year too for the U.S. for the midterms. So there's a lot going on. Siempre hay mucho de hacer
definitivamente.
y no hay
Pero
tiempo que perder.
otra de las cosas que quería preguntarte, porque bueno, el Midwest es conocido de que es el área, pienso que es una de las áreas más conservadoras de Estados Unidos,
Sí,
pero lo que viene siendo um, Wisconsin en Minnesota,
ahora,
um, eh, como que son como like shifting states.
yes,
Uh,
yes, they're purple, and there's pockets of diversity.
right. So
Yes,
since you were around there, uh, what was the feeling? Do you see
it's
people more like open?
it's very interesting when we. It was like you're going to Iowa. So when we played
Uh-huh.
CSPS Hall in Iowa, nobody spoke Spanish, and the people were very embraced us. And I was singing about all of this.
Of course.
And what's interesting is the music really did help. The music like softened them up. It's a bridge. It's a international language. So musically, it helped that they embraced us, and it was very interesting. And they're the people who put this show together are trying to open up people's minds, and they say it's hard because there aren't that many touring bands that end up there or whatever. It's a catch-22. So we were very excited to be there, and um, it was a better response than I thought as far as like the attitude on the issues. So there's a lot of people that we have to tap to expand our tent and to correct the misinformation.
Well, and since I think you're right. Music is kind of like um, it's a way to get to the hearts of humans, and maybe
Exactly.
not change it, but make
Oh, I
them
want to change it.
at least,
I disagree. I think you can change it because people are not exposed. So they have this
true.
misinformation and they think whatever they think. And if you say, no, 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 eso, it's así. But if you say it with music or with a platform like a journalist or radio person, people are listening. You have a platform. They want to hear. Usually, people who are listening are trying to listen. So there's hope. There's hope.
Yeah, well, how can we have more hope listening to your music? How can people connect with you? Where can they hear uh, the new CD, the new music? What are some of the avenues that we can listen to what you have to say in
on the
such a
on the
beautiful way?
website. Yeah, the website eljurimusic.com, eljurimusic.com, eljurimusic.com. And from there you can get to all the social media, arroba eljuri music. So is like YouTube. We always stay in touch with people on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. YouTube, we have new videos coming out, which is very exciting for Karma, which is my next single. And then the new album's going to be on all the digital platforms on after the 22nd of August when it's released on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon, todo eso. But we really do. I do stay in touch. You can sign up for the mailing list on the website and see our tour dates on the website and all that. So that's how to stay in touch with us, and definitely connect on social media because we do stay in touch with people.
Well, as always, it's always a pleasure
Para mí,
chatting with you. La verdad es un placer, y siempre, bueno, escuchar tu música,
gracias.
nos encanta. ¿Algo más que quieras agregar aquí a la banda de rockeros.net acá en California y bueno, también en México
That
que nos ven?
rock is still alive. Turn it up.
Turn it up and listen to some Karma.
Listen to some, yeah, screaming solos too. Siempre me
Bueno,
gusta tocar la guitarra también. Yes.
es parte de la forma en que, cómo puedes, how can you heal your soul and your mind and your body and your heart. So, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias, Cecilia, por este tiempo, por
Gracias a ti.
esta entrevista. Y bueno, gente, vayan a escuchar lo que está sacando el Juri. Esta canción de Karma, pienso que les va a gustar a muchos de ustedes, la verdad está muy chida. Van a escuchar toda su música porque también am, el rock tiene que ser contestatario y bueno, el Juri se encarga de eso todo el tiempo, ¿cierto?
Sí, good trouble.
Right. Like
Sí,
James Baldwin, right? Good trouble.
good trouble. That's right.
Bueno, gente, ella es Cecilia Villar, el Juri, ¿y dónde lo vamos a escuchar? Pues, bueno, aquí en Frecuencias Alteradas, rockeros.net.
Rockeros.net. Paz.